Good morning. It's Ayya Vimala, and it's Tuesday, December the 1st. Here we are, the last month of the year, moving into our holidays, another holiday season. So it's quite a time. It's a really peaceful week for me. Fewer classes and kind of a nice, calm week ahead, I think. So what I'd like to do today, I thought it would be a good day just to have more time with a meditation, and then you can pull it up and use it anytime you want to just sit and practice. So there might be some noise outside. I see an ambulance pulling up, and so that probably won't bother us or affect us. So why don't we check in with ourselves and then continue just sitting. I'll guide this very lightly, but let's start with a body scan, which more and more I think is such a good way to begin any meditation, because if we're working on being mindful, we need to be sure that we're working with our entire body, because our body is so important for us. We want our mindfulness to be totally connected. We want our body and our mind and our heart all connected, and that's the mindfulness that we're talking about. Everything is working together. Everything is integrated. So this is an embodied mindfulness. So we need to always be in our bodies. We're not trying to go outside of our bodies and look down at ourselves or leave the body. That's not our spiritual practice. It is to really be in this body. And then we work with our senses and everything coming through our sense doors. And that's where we begin. So when we practice, of course, we want our body to be comfortable so it doesn't become a distraction. But we live 24 hours a day in this body, and we know sometimes it isn't comfortable, and sometimes there is pain, physical pain. And other times there are non-physical disturbances. There's anxiety and worry and restlessness and that feeling of kind of laziness or just a lethargy, or sometimes just being really tired. So the more we understand our bodies and the more we can work with them, the better our practice will be, and we'll be able to look at all of these things as they're happening to us, which builds our mindfulness. We can look at those conditions of the body and investigate them. And a lot of times then we can learn how to release whatever is going on that keeps us from being comfortable in our bodies, because our bodies might be so anxious or so restless, or we may feel so tired or so just flat out. So working with our body is always important. And then we can begin to work with things, the emotions that are created from the feelings in our body and from all the things coming in through our sense doors. Then we can work with the emotions that come up as our mind, our brain gets involved with those. So let's do a quick body scan. We'll start kind of flowing through the body, and then we'll go into a mindfulness practice. So let your body be comfortable. Find the position that allows you to relax. Let me be sure that I have enough volume here. Maybe a little more. Okay. So let your posture be allowing you to be upright, letting your spine be uplifted is a better way to describe it, because you might be on the floor on your back right now. So you can still feel your spine stretching out, almost creating space between each vertebra. And then just gently close your eyes. Relaxing with each exhale. And just observing your body doing the breathing for you. We don't have to exert any extra energy at all. We see that our body's taking care of the breath. And it's very natural if we have that spine that's lifted up. It's very natural for our body to be able to breathe more oxygen in. We're breathing energy in. It's the energy that our body needs from our breath. We don't have to force our body to breathe deeply. It's just happening more naturally. And our lungs really need that energy, that oxygen. And just allow it to happen. We can still feel our breath in our chest, but we can also feel it in our belly. When we feel it in our belly, that's a good sign that we're getting more oxygen in. So when we practice, you can watch your breath by feeling your belly, the rise when you inhale, the contraction when you exhale. Or the other place where we typically watch it is around our nostrils. And that's a lot more subtle. That's a much more subtle sensation. So sometimes it almost will feel like your breath goes away. So choose one of those spots and see which one works best for you. Don't switch back and forth during one practice, but you might try being aware of the sensations of your breath. As you inhale, feel that air going up into your nostrils. And as you exhale, you can feel the breath that's a little bit more humid, a little warm, coming out of your nostrils, brushing across your upper lip, perhaps. And very lightly, we pay attention to our breath. And I always like to think of a little butterfly on our nose, easily disturbed, but just resting lightly. That can be your vantage point of yourself. As you relax into your breath, you can feel your shoulders dropping a little bit with each exhale. Feel supported. in your posture. If you need to rebalance yourself or realign yourself, that's okay to make those moves because it will help you relax and be comfortable. But try not to fidget. If you can, just sit still once you have the right posture and it's right for your body. Then just allow your body to be still. And let's start at the top of our head. With a body scan, and we're just going to be moving through the body, checking for any kind of tension or pain or discomfort. And then when we get to our feet, we'll come up and you can check your body inside and outside for areas where you feel good or with no discomfort, where you're aware of being relaxed in that part of your body. So start at the top of your head and slowly come down through your skull, being aware of any tension on the inside or tightness, and on your scalp. If you have tightness through your head from a headache or tightness, maybe there's tightness through your eyes. If your eyes are tired or you've been squinting, or if you have a headache that comes through your eyes. If it's the end of the day, you may have been on the computer and your eyes are tired. So move through that band and also the back of your head. When you come to your jaw, there's often a lot of tightness in our jaws. So let that lower jaw drop down just a fraction of an inch so your teeth aren't touching. And allow that lower jaw to let go of its tight grip at that joint. Keep noticing that. And if your teeth are not touching, then it's working. In the back of your head, at the base of your skull, you might have a feeling that your head isn't balanced on top of your spine. You can adjust that, see if you can make it feel like it's just balancing perfectly on your spine. For meditation, we have the lifted spine. Then you can bring your chin down a bit so your head isn't rising and taking you backwards during your practice. Just be aware of your chin coming down a bit. Keep relaxing as we go, but being aware of the tension or tightness or any pain you feel. Come down through your neck, into your shoulders. Notice on each exhale how your shoulders drop a little bit. That's good. They're relaxing. Move down into your upper arms. Whenever you come to a joint in your body, pay some attention to that, especially if you have some stiffness. Move down into your lower arms, and into your hands, through your wrist, into your hands and your fingers. And if you're clenching them together, just put one palm, your right palm, on top of your left, and just let your fingers be extended and relaxed. And see if you can sit that way and just let them be open. And at ease. Come back to your upper trunk and be aware. You can feel a little of your breath in your upper chest. But if you feel all of it there, you're probably anxious or angry or have some kind of pressure on you. So you want your breath to be down lower, to feel your breath more in your belly. If it's in your upper chest, there's anxiety or distracting emotions. Move down through your mid-torso and into your abdomen and down into your hips, which might be sitting all day or in one posture, standing all day, sitting all day. Our hips are probably in need of more variation. You may really realize it's time to get out for a walk, but try to find a balance so you feel like your body is distributed evenly on each side. Find a posture where you're being careful with your spine. And down in your hips, your tailbone, a little bit tucked under. Move into your upper legs. Feel how much strength there is there. Through your knees, your lower legs, and your feet. And when you feel your toes, give them a good wiggle. Now from your toes, we'll move up, reverse the direction, and we're going to move up the body. But this time I want you to feel the areas, be aware of the absence of pain or tightness or any tension. Just be aware of those spaces in your body. So begin with your toes. Move into your feet. Feel them on the earth. So your feet may be on the earth, or you might be on your back, but feel your body touching earth, even the floor. If it's 20 feet, 20 stories up, that floor can still be your earth. Move into your legs. Looking for the lack of tension, the lack of tightness, the absence of pain. into your hips, and even if you have pain in your hips, you may have arthritis or trouble in your lower back and your hips. Look for the areas, find the areas that are not experiencing pain. Move into your lower abdomen. If your hands are not touching your belly, you might want to check in with your breath through your belly. Looking for the absence of any distress or tightness or tension. Not thinking about it, just looking for that, the absence of the unpleasant feelings. Move up to your mid-torso, same thing. And your upper torso. Then come back to your fingers and your hands. Make sure they're still unclenched. But notice, even if you noticed tightness, soreness, any kind of tension earlier, now I want you to notice the good feelings, the absence of any pain, the absence of tension. Are they relaxed? Are there parts of your hands and your fingers that just feel perfectly fine? And then up into your lower arms. Up into your upper arms. And then joining your torso at the shoulders. And are your shoulders still coming down a little bit with each exhale? Notice the good feelings, which are just the absence of the uncomfortable feelings. Move into your neck and up into your head. Through your jaw, through that area around your eyes and your forehead, all of your scalp, all the way up through the top of your head. Now just allow your attention to rest like that little butterfly. And just be aware of your breath, of your body breathing for you. Now we keep our eyes closed if we can, and that's just to eliminate some of the visual distractions. We still see light and sometimes color on the inside of our eyelids. So that can be enough of a distraction. But we don't try to close off our sense doors. We're still aware of sound, taste, smell, touch. But we don't want to be, we're learning not to be distracted by those things. We can be aware of them. We don't have to get sidetracked thinking about what they are or whether they're irritating or not. Now our mind is also considered a sense. So we're also aware of our thoughts. We don't try to stop them. We don't try to shut off our thinking because that would be way too big of a struggle. We don't want to create resistance because that will just increase our thoughts. So just be aware of your thoughts, but we don't need to feed them with our attention. Just be aware that they're passing through your mind. And if we don't feed them with attention, they eventually go away on their own. The very persistent ones will keep coming back and coming back. And we just try to let them come back until they've realized that right now is not when we're going to sit and think about them. We're just going to let them flow through our mind. Our mind is the big sky, the wide open, boundless sky. And our thoughts are just the little clouds that sometimes are like storm clouds and sometimes are just little puffs. And sometimes that sky is completely clear. So if you have storm clouds passing across your mind, it'll be harder to resist them. The little puffs, we can just easily let them go. But remember that the big open space, the big mind, the boundless sky is always there. So just keep coming back to your breath. If you're in a peaceful place in your life, in your day, in this moment, and you feel calm, it's much easier to sit and be with your mind. But we don't always practice or even want to practice just when our minds are peaceful and calm. Sometimes we need to use our practice to help us calm the mind, to find peace. In those situations, we may want to look more closely and investigate some of the things floating through our mind, or some of the feelings, the emotions that we're trying to work with. But today we're just watching our breath and letting those clouds just pass through our mind. Most of our thoughts are totally unnecessary. But we sometimes don't even realize that until we do begin to learn how to meditate. Then we can just see the kind of things that our mind is full of. How much of it we don't need. But we work very gently with the mind. Be very patient. My time is up for today. It feels really good being here with you. I just would like to sit and keep practicing, but I do have to end our time together so we don't get into a whole different, like a mini retreat. But keep sitting if you can, and just allow yourself to feel the peace and the calm tranquility that's available to us all the time. We can practice until we can bring it into our lives very quickly and smoothly, but it takes time and patience. So remember, don't just sit when you're already feeling peaceful and calm. Sometimes, if we're in the midst of a very strong, disturbing emotion, that's the most wonderful. Just be an observer. Just be an observer. Don't think about it, just observe it. So have a beautiful day, and I'll see you Thursday. And if it's nighttime, have a lovely peaceful sleep. Be rested. Thank you.